Well, good morning, guys. It is so very early here. My husband just left for work, but it's Friday. Yay! The weekend is upon us, and we get to work on the house. Woohoo! So we're doing some remodeling. So if you see some fluff back there, that's actually insulation. We need to put the wall board up because we just put in my new window. There's my window right there. And so we have to put in another new window in our master bedroom. We have to replace all the windows because the windows are very old. And then put up wallboard. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of that done because I'd like to have a permanent home for all of my vinyl that's right up there, and finally get my craft room done. So anyways, the reason being is that I'm here is on my last tutorial I showed you how to make hair with hot glue, you know, like gluing on little wisps and making a wig. And I also gave you an option that if you didn't want to glue it on, that you needed to be able to crochet and latch hook. So here is the one version. She has, this is still yarn hair. So she has yarn hair. Her head is on a nylon stocking. She is I think she's a 3-layer nylon. So she's a 3-layer nylon. Just doing the wig, I'm not doing the head. The head is something totally different. But her wig cap is crocheted and then whip stitched on, but I'll show you how to make the wig. And then there's this option. Isn't he super cute? Oh my goodness. So his hair is actually brushed out. He has a crocheted wig cap also, but his hair is brushed out as hers is not brushed. Hers is just, you take the yarn and you untwist it, and then she ends up with like this dreadlock look. But his is actually brushed out like the other one. But this one's super. He's super quick. His wig is super quick to make. And don't you just love his little pacifier? If you guys want a tutorial on how to do the pacifier and the body, because his body is super soft. It's just stuffing. If you want a tutorial on how to make the body, send a comment down below and I will do a tutorial on the body. So I also got in, and I'm super excited about it, and if you guys want a tutorial, send a comment down below that you want a tutorial on these too. The more comments that I get that you want the tutorial, the more likely I'll do a tutorial. But I just got these boots in, and I put corks in them so that they would, because they were like smushed flat, and I want them to be upright without any creases. So I have some work boots. I got a rifle. I got some bumblebee and ladybug 3D little wood pieces. And I also got, and I love these are super cute, little tiny hammer, got a little tiny Phillips and standard screwdriver. They got little handles, and then they got a Phillips and a standard screwdriver. Got needle nose pliers, regular pliers. Actually, those were wire cutters. And my favorite, this little teeny tiny wrench. It's got so much detail in it. It's super cute. I have to decide whether or not I want to do a tool belt or a toolbox. So guys, if you want me to do a tutorial on how to build a little gnome like this, and I'll do the rifle and I'll do the toolbox one, whether I do a toolbox or a tool belt, I don't know. Leave a comment down below, and if I get enough comments, I'll do a tutorial on this, guys, and then I'll put a link to where I got all of this stuff, because I did not get them on Amazon. But let's get to the wig tutorials. All right. Alright guys, there's only a few items that you actually need to make this. You need a latch hook, a pair of scissors. If you're going to brush it out, you'll need a dog brush, and you can see that the last thing I brushed out was that little boy's hair. and of course some yarn. Any kind of yarn will work, but it has to be 100% acrylic if you're going to brush it out. If you're not going to brush it out, it doesn't matter what kind of yarn you're going to use. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to grab your yarn, and I didn't make this into a yarn ball. I'm just going to put it on the floor. Make yourself your starter hook. Put your latch hook in it. Pull it taut. I don't worry about this excess because this will actually either turn into hair. I don't ever cut it off. It usually just turns into hair. Make a couple of, okay, so depending upon the size of the wig cap you're going to do. If you're going to do a little, like the little one for the little boy, I do a single hook. If you're going to do the one for like the girl, the mom with a bigger one, then I'll do a double. So I'll grab, so we'll do 2 to start, 2 links. And then if I'm going to do the mom, I'm going to start with a round and stick it back into the link that I did before, not to the very first one, but the second link. And then I will make a double stitch like that, and then I'll go around and around and around in a circle, go in a circle, so go into the next one. And the reason that I'll make it this way on an adult size is because then you don't need to go, it won't be as tight, and it'll be easier to put the hair into. So then you'll go into the next one, and so every other one you'll stitch twice, so into that hole, so that basically you get a circle that's flat and not a tube. You want a partially flat circle. This one's kind of hard to do for me. It's also very early in the morning. So then, so since you see that I've already done it into this hole, it's hard to see. All right, so I'm going to do 2 stitches into that hole. It'll be easier to see than to try to cram it into the hole that I just did. So I'll do my first stitch, and then I'm going to go back into that same hole again and do another. Pull me some more yarn. And then I'm going to move to the next, see now you have this kind of big old V, and the next hole over, not this one, but this one. So you'll move over to the next one, and you'll do 1 into that one, and now you're back at the beginning. So you see so this is where the knot's at. So I'm actually going to just do 1 in that one, and then I'll do 2 into the next one. So I'll go into the knot, and then of course you have the little hair piece, and then the next one over right there, I'm going to do 2 into it. So there's 1, and then I'm going to do a second, and then the next one after that, which is right there, I'm going to do 1. And then the next one after that, I'm going to do 2. Pull me some more yarn. And then I gotta put a second stitch in there. I'm gonna go back in it again. Sometimes the second one can be super tight, only because you don't have a lot of room in there. And then the next one, which is right there, put one in. After you get a few stitches around, it'll actually be easier. And then I got a nice big hole right there, and I could put 2 stitches in there. So there's one. Go back in again. That's 2. And then you see the little cut in, and right here I'm going to stick 1 stitch. Now you should have by now a little dome. See, it's a little, it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, this all gets covered up by hair. So don't stress if it doesn't look perfect. It just has to have the little holes for you to latch hook into. So let me turn it back around. And the next one I'm going to do 2 stitches in. So the next one would be this little hole here. Sorry, I'm still trying to get over my cold. I'm so much better. Honestly, I'm I'm a homemaker. I stay at home. My husband goes to work. And we're pretty sure he was sick too. Okay, so the next one is just a single. He had a bunch of his co-workers go out for COVID. So we're pretty sure we had it. And we had the shot. I had the shot and I had the booster. And I still got it. It just was a bad cold. Alright, so single, and then the next one is going to be a double. I was down, probably down and out for like maybe 2 days, where I just wanted to lay around and do nothing. But did I? Heck no. I still did videos and crafted. Okay, so the next one's a single. The next one is a double. Now, let me put this double in. Now, depending upon, and then I pull it too tight. Now, depending upon where you're going to put this wig cap on, is it going to be on a soft doll, or are you going to put it on a styrofoam head? You need to do your measurement on how big you want this, okay? So this is about right for a styrofoam ball. So what we'll do for 2.5 inch. So what we're going to do is we're going to end the stitch. So instead of doing a double, we're just going to go straight in, no loop on there. We're going to go straight into a single stitch. Okay, and pull it through. And then the next one we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to just pull it straight through. We're not even going to do an extra loop. Then you're going to cut the yarn, pull it all the way through. Oops, I'm sorry, I wasn't in camera when I did that. So you basically just snip it and pull it, and then you lock it in. Again, don't worry about cutting this off unless you're going to have shorter hair brushed out. And if you're going to brush it out, just snip it whatever length you want it. So now we're ready to move on to the next stage. And that still requires the latch hook and a pair of scissors. Okay, so what you're going to do is decide how long the hair you want. I'm just going to go wrap it around my hand. So we'll wrap it around a bunch of times. And again, it doesn't have to be a perfect length. Just decide how long you ultimately want the hair. So I'm going to do one side as a brush and one side as the dreadlock. So you'll cut off the yarn, and then you're going to cut it you have a bunch of lengths of yarn. And this is just like latch hook. Doesn't matter where you start, doesn't matter where you end. Just as long as you get it nice and fluffy. So we're going to do one side. So I'm going to start on the end. And the closer to the edge that you get, so say like, I want to start right here. If you make your wig cap the same color as the hair, it's much easier to hide the wig cap. So then what you do is you're basically just doing a latch hook design. Hit any holes, doesn't matter. There is no pattern, just wherever you can stick your latchy hook, your crochet hook into, pull through all of the yarn, because you're doing like latch hook, you're locking it in. And then my cat's over there getting into trouble. One of my cats. Marmalade. She's also my talker. So if you ever hear a cat in the background or cat talking to me, it's my 12-year-old cat Marmalade. She's a huge talker. She talks to us. All right. So then say, you got some here. You're gonna move in. Again, it doesn't matter where you go in at. So what you want to do is stay on the top of the wig. So you go like this. So it's the bottom of the wig. So you can stay at the top of the wig. And you're going to latch hook it in. And then your hair's on top. Move on to your next one. Find a spot, any spot, okay? Put your hook in. Pull it through. Lock it in. Find another spot. At first, just when you're doing this, you see so many bare spots, and I'll show you how to fix all that when you get to the end. It seems difficult when you're first starting, and it can be. Sometimes I pull extra yarn. Some of y'all might be better at this than me, but you get the idea. I wanted to come off and not stay because I didn't grab it right. How many of y'all latch hooked as a kid? I did. Did it for a while as a kid, and I quit. Alright, so let's call that you've done the whole wig. And now you want to brush this one out. So what you do is, now that you got it on the wig, brush it out. This one will brush out easy because it's a bigger yarn. So I'd say the tighter ones do the unravel, and then the big ones do a brush out. But again, the brush out won't be very long. So I'd say save the brush outs for like a smaller gnome, and then the dreadlock style for a larger gnome that you want to have longer hair. Alright. So again, you can also take that crimp iron and you can straighten it however you want to do it. And you do the whole head, and like the little boy's head, you can make it all messy. So that's how you do that one. And then for the dreadlock one, latch hook it in. And then just unwind it. Like the tighter ones I like better when you unwind it. The looser ones I don't know if I like it as much because it's such a looser twist. It tends to shed more than the tight ones. The one with the brown hair, her twists came out really cool. All right, so you just untwist it if you just want to do a twist, an untwist. Same thing for this. Let's just untwist this one. Although pulling them apart like this is so much easier when it's a loose twist. So okay, so now, so say you have done your hair and you're going along and you're finding little blank spots. Just take a piece of yarn, like this is a pretty good bald spot. Find where you're going to grab just a little bit of yarn. Sometimes you got to play around to decide which direction you're going to go. Go in all different directions. Don't go all in just one direction. Go in all different directions. So then what you do is you just fill it in. And again, this doesn't look really good because why? Because it don't have a whole lot of yarn in it. So put a whole bunch of yarn in it and it'll look good. It'll look just like the ones that I showed you when I gave you the demo. Little lady and the little baby. I put a lot of these in. Brush it out. Oops. Then I brush the other side. And once you get it all nice and full, it'll actually look really good. So do that. Fill it all up. Fill up all the little gaps and you will have a really easy wig that you can whip stitch. You just stitch the very edge of the wig cap all around the edge if you're going to do a soft head doll gnome. If you want to put this on a styrofoam ball, then just run a bead of E6000 and hot glue and glue it onto the top of your styrofoam ball. So there you go, guys. Another option for gnome hair. Now you can do in all different colors. And if you want to put like highlights in their hair and you want to put different colors, you could totally do that too. All right, guys? So it's all right, guys, so there you go. Well, hey guys, wasn't that loads of fun making a brush out and a dreadlock? So guys, if you made it this far, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. And that way you'll get notified each and every time I upload a new video. So I want to thank each and every one of my subscribers. I feel very, very blessed to have you guys in my life. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I do my very best to answer every single one. So guys, until next time, bye!